Okay. Hi, I'm Kate and welcome to my channel. So it's Saturday. Normally on Saturdays I film my new makeup release videos, usually in the morning, and then I edit at night. But I've been really lazy today, so I did get my first vaccine shot yesterday, so I have a really sore arm and I'm tired. Otherwise I feel great. But I've kind of lacked motivation to get up and put makeup on and film today, so I put it out to Instagram just asking for any makeup ideas, and one suggestion was a palette bingo. I've never done a palette bingo, so I thought, why not? So I decided to grab my Nomad Iceland palette, the Land of Fire and Ice, to do a palette bingo with. I've just been loving this palette. This was my first try at Nomad. They are already sneak peeking their next palette. I'm gonna call this out before they post it, although by the time this is posted, it'll probably be already, you know, revealed, but based on the clues, I'm guessing Shanghai. So we'll see if I'm right, but all right, so I'm doing a number generator from 1 to 15. I don't know how well that shows up because this palette has 15. I'm just gonna count going across, and I'll swatch as we go with what we get. And I think I'm gonna do 5 colors. I typically like to have, you know, a couple mattes, a couple shimmers, maybe something for the inner corner, lower lash line. So I'm gonna go ahead and start to generate. All right, so the first number is 15. All right, so that is Valkyrie's, which is the shade here. So I'm gonna grab that and swatch. Beautiful, kind of periwinkle, bluey purple shade. All right, I'm gonna generate again. All right, 3, okay. 3 is orange. At least I got a matte. I was worried that I wouldn't end up with mattes to play with, and I'm more of a matte lover than anything. All right, next 15 again. 8, so 5, okay, so 6, 7, 8, so that is this shade. Already, I don't quite know. All right, let's generate again. 14, that is Dark Castles, the deepest shade in the palette. Well, I'm glad I got something nice and rich. Okay, so we are actually very matte heavy. I'm surprised because there's more shimmers than mattes in this palette. All right, and the last number is 10. So that is the brightest green shade. So here is our color story today. This should be interesting. So we have like purple, orange, red, blackish, and green. Gosh. All right, I'm gonna have to think on this for a minute. Well, before I get started, I'm gonna go off camera, fill in my brows, prime the eyes, and I'll be back. So again, here is my color story. I like all of these shades. I just, I don't know that I like the purple with the orange and the red and the green. I feel a little lost already. So, I don't even know where to start. Well, maybe I will do like a cut crease. I'm gonna try to go a little fancy today, maybe. So I'm gonna grab a really small crease brush, and I'm going to, I don't know what I'm going to do. I think I'm gonna start with the orange, fade it into the red, into the Dark Castles, then maybe the green on the lid. I don't know. Well, let's just see what happens. I do love this shade of orange. It's really pretty. So yeah, a few of the ideas that I was given were like do a purple and orange look. Well, I have kind of purple and orange. Or a full-on rainbow look. Or I think pink and yellow was one option. So a lot of great options, but I liked the idea of doing a palette bingo, especially with this palette that I've used quite a bit, but mostly gone monochromatic or played like strictly with the warm shades. This is definitely a fun way to kind of get to know some of the other colors. All right, so now I'm gonna dip into the red shade. It's more like a burnt orange than a red. So this will definitely be an interesting look for my new makeup release video. These do just like blend together perfectly and seamlessly. Alright, I don't know how much those match. Alright, I know they're not exact, but I think that's as close as I'm going to get. So now, I think I want to take Dark Castles underneath both of those, but it's so pigmented. I'm gonna just try to go in really lightly under that. So I essentially like tapped off everything that I picked up just to have a little tiny bit to blend in with those. It kind of created almost like a burnt look. So again, I'm new to Nomad as of this palette, and the mattes are just so pigmented. I mean, I barely touched that Dark Castle shade, and then I actually like wiped some off on my color switch and still just had to go very light-handed. Okay. So I think I'm gonna pause there with those shades. So I've used all three mattes. I'm gonna cut the crease and then figure out what to do on the lid. All right, I think that's as close as those are going to get, but I'm going to kind of repeat with the Dark Castles shade underneath there and just define that cut crease. So just kind of connect those. This is not a look I've ever done before. The colors or the shape. And then I'm just gonna go into the red shade. Wow. Okay, so, jeez. Alright, so now do I do both shimmers or do I do one just on the lower lash? I'm going to start with the Periwinkle shade, Valkyries, and just start to put that on the lid, and maybe I'll save the green for either the inner corner or lower lash line. Oh, I love that shade. So the reason why I put that Dark Castles shade on was just to kind of have a really light, dark line, if that makes sense, just as the separation for that cut crease, to not have these shades go right into the orange and red. This is definitely one of my favorite shades in this palette. Alright, my camera shut off while I was doing this shade. I'm not sure how much it missed, but we're still going at it. So my understanding with the palette bingo is that these are the only shades you can use. You have to use every single one and you can't grab anything else. So that's what I'm doing, just these 5 shades. So far I've used everything except for the green, but I think I'm gonna save that for the inner corner and lower lash line. So, wow. Okay, I'm gonna pause on that. I am going to go in with skincare, foundation, and I'll be back. All right, so I went in, I also did my blush and bronzer and all that. For blush, I used a Patrick Ta blush in the shade Do We Know Her, kind of an orangey blush. Went in with bronzer, highlighter, all that. And now back into the palette. So the only shade out of our bingo that I haven't used is the green. So I'm I think just gonna start dragging that under the lower lash line. So normally I don't go in with shimmers there, but we're doing it. This is something else. Maybe we'll just pop that on the inner corner too. I'm sure people could have thought of a better way to pair all these colors together than this look. What is this? What is this? All right, so I think a look this bold needs lashes. So I am going to go off camera, put on lashes, find a lip, and I'll be back. Okay. So that's the final look. I did go in, I have this set of magnetic lashes, and these ones were really long, but I was like, the longer the lash, the more I can cover up of this look. My look is in no way a reflection of how fantastic this palette is. Just keep that in mind. This is crazy, but this palette is crazy good. So yeah, these were the 5 shades that I had to use, and I got them all in there. I think they're all represented. You can tell which shades I used. This was my first go at a palette bingo. It was fun. I mean, this is not a look that I would wear out, but I did have fun dipping in and pairing shades together that I normally wouldn't. So the shades that I used this orange one, this kind of reddish orange. I had this shade, and this shade. So everything over here, none of the blues today. Well, I mean, this one's kind of a bluey purple periwinkle duochrome, but yeah, I mean, this palette is fantastic. This look is interesting. For the lip, I went in, one of my favorite lips is the YSL. This is the Velvet Cream. I prefer the matte stain, but this is kind of a warmer orangey red that I thought would go with what we put in the crease. So thank you so much for watching my very first palette bingo. If you enjoyed my video, please like, subscribe, leave a comment below, and I'll see you soon.